Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you.
What's going on, YouTube? This your boy Talk Slick, Make It Quick TV. I'm back here with another YouTube video. So this one, ladies and gents, is about the wax technicians out here in the world, you know, that's trying to keep it right for the ladies and gents. But some of their stories are just crazy. And, you know, we're going to get into it. Enough talking.
Why is it already stinking? Oh my goodness! It already stink! Oh my! Alright, so boom. I had a client come in and this was so crazy because I couldn't believe like that this even happened. This client in particular came in after 6 weeks of from having her baby, and she came in and brought her newborn 6-week-old to come get waxed. It was like she was that pressed to get waxed. So I go to clean her off, and of course she had a bush because she hadn't gotten waxed, you know, in 6 weeks because of her baby, or probably longer than that because she had a bush, honey. Tell me why a goddamn bug came off of her vagina and started crawling on the table. So I like freaked out. Like I jumped back like, what the hell was that? And I ended up like killing the bug on the table with the paper towel in my hand. The kicker here is that, of course, I believe she knew she had crabs or whatever the hell she had going on because of her reaction. She just looked at me and just stared. She didn't say, you know, your natural reaction if you see somebody jump, you like, what is it? What do you see? What's wrong? You asking questions, right? She didn't do none of that. She just stared at me. So I'm like, oh, you knew. Of course you probably knew. Like, so my theory about this is you thought to come and get waxed over you going to your doctor to figure out what the hell you have going on down there. So she thought getting the hair off was the answer. Ma'am, crabs go under the skin as well. You have to go get medication and get that treated. Getting your hair off is not the answer. And do you know my boss at the time still made me wax this lady even after I left the room and told him what I saw? He was like, oh, you can't see bugs or crabs or whatever with the naked eye. Well, I said, well, she got something going on because I saw it and killed the bug on the table.
So, you know, I'm waxing her friend. I get to her back and I'm like, no way. And I was like, and I literally sat there and I was just like twirling a stick of wax. I'm like, I gotta say something. I was like, yeah, Miss Such and Such, I can't wax your sheet. Why? I said, well, you know, you have a lot of number 2 in your butt, you know? No. And it was like a lot. It was like a lot, like to the point where it looked like she didn't even wipe. So I was just like, and she's like, no, I don't. I've been having problems boo-booing. I can't even boo-boo. I'm like, well, I don't think you got a problem because it's right here. And she's like, let me go to the bathroom. And I was just like, okay.
Storetown Beach. Okay, so I had a client. I'm doing her Brazilian. God, y'all steady be pissing me off. She goes, and I have her that position. And while I'm in that position, I'm like this close. I'm this close to the brown eye. And when I'm this close, she decides that it would be a good time to go. Her back door whispered at me. I was like, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I upped my fiber and I don't know what's happening to my intestines, but sometimes I just gotta let it go and I don't know when it's gonna be, and this position's really getting to me. Bitch, you couldn't have said that when you got in that position? What do you mean? Like, you know when you got the grumbles, right? Like, I know when I have the grumbles. Like, why would you wait till I'm like staring at it? Why? I got so mad. I was like, you know what? It's fine. I hope she never comes back. I ain't never seen that lady before, and I hope I never see her again. And I never really ever wish that, but like, that's just disrespectful. You know what I mean? That's just rude.
I am losing my motherfucking mind right now. I need to get off TikTok for a little bit. I literally just watched a video of a woman who is an esthetician and like a teacher and all types of shit. She does waxes, Brazilians. Why is this lady teaching future estheticians how to speak to future potential clients about coming in with poop butt? Saying things like, oh, I teach that when, you know, if you have a repeat poop butt offender, you have them come in and I give them a wipe and I say, make sure you clean front, back, middle. And if they lay down and they still have poop butt and toilet paper and up in the booty, I say, hey, there's still quite a bit of stuff, but who the fuck is getting waxed with a dirty asshole? Listen, bitch, if you are the fucking people that she is talking about, have some fucking decency and wash your fucking ass before getting a fucking Brazilian, before getting any wax. Like, I thought it went without saying that you washed your dirty ass. I don't give a shit if you haven't shit in 4 years. You still wash your fucking ass before having someone all up in it to rip the fucking hairs out of it. How dare someone go to a woman and say, oh, splay me out and look at the shit particles in my ass. You people are fucking disgusting. I hope that, like, and do you know what the funny thing is? Like, I know she's not lying, because that is not the first esthetician, or I don't know what they are, waxers, master waxers, whatever, that have shared fucking stories about you dirty bitches and your dirty assholes. It is fucking filthy and disgusting. There has to be like a fucking, like a database for every dirty ass bitch that goes in to get a fucking wax and goes in with ass chunks in her ass. That way estheticians of the world can know, do not wax these dirty bitches, because they clearly do not have any consideration for themselves or others. You are disgusting and should be ashamed of yourself, and you fucking know who you are. That shit pisses me off, and I'm not even a fucking waxer. You are filthy.
Hey guys, it's story time. Okay, so boom, this is my first time doing this. Don't judge me. Let's go. I've been waxing for about 5 years. I probably had every type of client that you can imagine. Like, I don't discriminate. I love everybody. I take anybody, okay? So this man DMs me on Instagram. He's like, hey, how do I book an appointment? Yada, 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 right? Typically when it's men, I screen my clients. Like, I kind of look at their page, see if they got a girlfriend, you know, just to make sure nobody not gonna be on no weird stuff, okay? So this man, he's a Caucasian gentleman. He's like 6'4". He's an older guy. When I say older guy, he had to be like maybe in his 60s. Loves dogs. He's like a dog advocate, something like that. Boom. So he books a butt wax, like to get his glutes waxed. Okay, I'm like, maybe he on a deal or something. Not my business, don't care, whatever. He becomes a faithful customer of mine. Comes to me for months. Like, he's rebooking his appointments, but he doesn't like to, I notice he doesn't like to book through the site. He'll text me or DM me and be like, hey, can I come in? I'm like, yeah, we do walk-ins now. Come on. So boom, this is one appointment. I hadn't seen him in a couple of months, and he was like, sorry y'all, a client came in, I had to wax it real quick. Okay, so we get to the appointment. He's laying down on the table. I wax him. We're done. He proceeds to say, can you do me a manzillion? I'm like, yeah, I can, do you real quick before my next client. So for my fellow estheticians, y'all know I did the 2 side strips. I did the top, and I proceed to put the wax on his balls. As I put the wax on his balls, I do another top strip, trying to do a little cleanup. As I take the wax off his balls, he completely jizzed everywhere. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I almost passed the hell out. He says, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. And I'm like astonished, like, why would you come to my establishment if this is some type of fetish or something that you have going on? There are happy ending places for that. Don't come to my shit doing it. He gets up, my makeup girl is here, like everybody that works in the shop is there. They see me come out, I'm so upset. I call my husband, I'm telling him, he mad because he like, why you even waxing me? And like, it was a whole situation. So he He comes in, like comes out the room. I'm at the front desk. He's stuttering like, is this done? Like, I'm like, you done. Throws me the money. He gave me like $200. Boom. I go back in the room. He's cleaned up everything. Yeah, like now I only wax men if they are gay, if they already come with their wives. I can't wax men no more. But yeah, no, y'all gotta do better. Don't treat women.
I want to hear a weird waxing story that you have.
This current client, I'm going to keep her very anonymous, but I was waxing her Brazilian, and after every single time I pulled a strip, okay, her man was there, by the way, and he was standing right next to us.
Okay, so she's laying on the bed. Like
she's laying on the bed. I'm on this side. He's on this side, right?
Okay.
And after every single time I pulled a strip, he would kiss her. And I was like, okay, like trying to mind my business, not look.
Not like making out, just like a
not
regular
making
pout.
out, but just every single strip was a kiss. Then we do knees up to chest. I'm, applying the booty strips, and he's like spanking her butt. I'm like, you gotta be
Like
kidding
a
me.
slap or like a tap?
Just like a tap, but it was making me clap,
No.
And I just felt disrespected, but I didn't know what to say. And we're at the end of the service, and I let her know, like, hey, girl, you do have a couple little hairs left over. I tried my best to tweeze them all, but we really need to work on exfoliating. And he's like, oh my God, $60 and you didn't get all the hair?
He did not just tell you that.
He said that, and then we walk up to the front, and I'm like, oh, it's actually 70. I was like, oh my God. I was so embarrassed and just uncomfortable. And they're both really nice people, and they probably didn't mean anything, but I did have to send her a message after and ask her, next time, can you please just come in? And unfortunately, your boyfriend is no longer welcome in here, because it just made me feel uncomfortable.
Y'all bad for the word too. At this point, y'all should know where this is going. I'm waxing the man's pubis. I'm waxing his shaft. I get down. I'm like, okay. This is his first time getting a manzillion, by the way. So he was really nervous. And I swear I was just sniffing the air like, what the fuck is that smell? The smell was him. It was absolutely him. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So in a Brazilian and in a manzillion, you do the top part, and you also have to wax the bottom, which is the anus. That man lifted up his legs, and he had shitted all on my treatment table. And I mean all on my treatment table. Y'all know how those newborns be when they be having them green and brown shits and it's just running up their back? Yeah, it was that. I was mortified. I didn't know what to say, so I just told him we could skip it. He got up and didn't say a word. Paid me and said, I'll be back. And that wasn't even the worst one.
If you want to get into the waxing business, it's definitely not for the weak. I'm going to tell you this right now, because me as a waxer, I have seen some things, and I just learned how to react to them. As a waxer, you can't make your clients feel uncomfortable. Like, for example, a lot of females, or some females, when they finish using the bathroom doing number 2, and they think that they cleaned themselves thoroughly down there, but they didn't, and they come to their wax appointment, get on the table, they're getting waxed, and boom, needs to chest butt strip, and you see residue, and you just have to know how to respond and make your client comfortable as much as possible, because they're already feel embarrassed, like, oh snap, like, oh shit, I left something back.
Story time about the time that I waxed a client while she had the Lil Wayne. If you know, you know. But yeah, y'all are probably wondering, well, how did you know? Why did you still wax her? We're going to cover all of it. So basically, this client comes in. She seemed like super like nervous and shy, but I mean, you're getting a Brazilian. So in my mind, I'm thinking that was the reason. And I like make conversation with her, but she wasn't really saying much. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, let me just breeze through this and do my job. Bro. So of course I finished doing the top of the Brazilian. Nothing was visible at first. Like nothing was visible. Bro, I pulled the lip to the side to do the strips there. And as soon as I move the lip, all I see is this lime green and yellow discharge that has now crusted over. That is literally, but yeah, it had crusted over, and it was on both sides of the labia. And y'all gonna be like, well, what did you do? What did you say? In the moment, I did not realize what the fuck I was looking at, and I was so taken back. I was like, okay, the lips is like pretty much near the end of the Brazilian. So I'm like, okay, I done already did most of this. Let me just finish because I don't know what's going on. And nothing about her skin was alarming. So I didn't really know what to do. And I was just like, yo, let me just finish and get her out of here. And I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, ew, why would you keep going? Again, I didn't know what she had in that moment. I was already most of the ways done. So I was like, you know what? I did say something to her and I was like, hey, like, just a suggestion, you might want to make sure that you go and check in with your physician after your appointment. I just kept it cute. And like, I had genuinely never seen no shit like that before. So I really was just like stuck. And again, this is the beginning of my waxing career. You really have to go through these experiences to know what to do, how to react, what to even expect. Because who's expecting somebody to come in with yellow and green discharge? Like, crusted over. Like, man. So yeah, I said that to her. When I pulled the strip, I just gracefully turned my head to the side. And I had 2 masks on at the time. This is during like peak COVID, like after COVID lockdowns, all of that. So I definitely had masks on. So I wasn't like, my face wasn't exposed to any fluids or anything like that. But yeah, I said something to her, bro, I get to the butt strip. The same ring, I guess, you know, discharge travels, the same fluids and ring is literally around her, you know, other hole down there too. And I was just like, at that point, I was disgusted. I realized why she was sitting there so shy and so timid. I'm like, girl, you really just came in this bitch with an STD? Are you serious? Getting a wax while you have an STD, I need y'all to get y'all priorities together. Because are you kidding me? And I can clearly see that you have colorful discharge. Like, and this is not anything against people that have permanent STDs that are getting their self-care services done. We're talking about people that are clearly like, you're showing symptoms. You don't, even if you have HSV1 or 2, you don't go and get services done in the middle of an outbreak. So I'm like, same thing goes for Lil Wayne. Why would you come and get a wax while you have the Lil Wayne? Like, it didn't take nothing but a Google search to figure out what the heck was going on. Because I did my research after trying to figure out, like, what was that? I've never seen that in my life. Yeah, and before y'all try to hound me in the comments and be like, well, that doesn't mean that she had the Lil Wayne. She could have had... I'm well aware. We all have Google. Could have been Trick. Could have been Lil Wayne. Those are the 2 most commonly seen STDs/STIs that have green and yellow discharge. Granted, it could be anything, but... y'all didn't see it. I saw it. So it's okay. It's not that deep. This was years ago. Hope that she received help and care that she needed. Not that serious. But yeah, this is really a true story.
STDs have entered the chat. So this esthetician said, I stopped doing Brazilians after 2 poop butts and a herpes outbreak. The herpes outbreak made me literally jump. You know, I have had encounters with clients who didn't realize they had an STD, and I'm not able to diagnose or say anything, but you need to go to the doctor. And it can be scary, especially if you see it firsthand up close, but the client is not thinking it's an STD. I've had 2 situations where they thought it was ingrowns, and I had to be very clear and say, this isn't ingrowns. You definitely need to go and seek some medical attention. One came back and thanked me profusely that I made her do it because she didn't realize how serious it was. But it definitely makes you think what we expose ourselves to, right? So I talk a lot about poop butt. People come on and, oh, you know, you're always talking about poop butt because it's always present. We have a lot of people that bring poop butt to us along with other things, bodily fluids, STDs, other people's bodily fluids, you know, they don't bathe. There's a lot of things that we deal with as a Brazilian waxer. And for some, they can handle it. Some people say, I don't want to handle it. I don't want to deal with it. And I completely understand both sides of the coin. For me, I didn't really give myself a choice. It was a means for me to earn income. So being a single mom at that time, I did what I needed to do. I just didn't give myself the opportunity to not do it. After all the years of training that I did and everything that I got to, I just never gave myself an opportunity not to do Brazilian waxing. It's good money, but you are going to be in the trenches. You are going to see a lot of stuff. It can be traumatizing. You're going to have hard conversations with people. You're going to have to explain to them, you know, what's happening if you can, or you're just going to have to say, you got to go to the doctor for this. But I completely understand this. I've seen it up close, and I was more heartbroken for the women that just didn't know they had the STD. I think that's kind of what got me more than looking at it, just realizing they didn't know that they thought it was an ingrown, and it was not ingrowns.
Story time about the Manzilian that I did that went pretty south pretty fast. So after I graduated esthetician school, I knew that waxing was what I wanted to focus on. And so I found a waxing salon. During the interview process, they did ask, like, are you willing to do Manzilians? We do them here. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, obviously as long as we get the right training, like I've never done one, I'll feel a lot comfortable. And she was like, yeah, like we'll train you, like you'll do good. So whatever, about 2 months after I started working there, it was about a month that I started working there, she was like, okay, like I have a few Manzilian models for you. For those that are not aware, Manzilians are just Brazilians for men. There's a few different names out there, but I'm going to reference to them by saying Manzilians. So whatever, she scheduled some models with me, 2 to be exact, and maybe 3, no more than 3 though. And we did them. I did them with her in the room. There was one point where she was training multiple people, so we were all there in the room. So yeah, I did like 2 or 3 with her. And then one day I came into work and there was a Manzilian model on my schedule. He was still a model, so I wasn't too nervous, but again, I had only done like 2 or 3 with her in the room, and it's not like I did the whole thing. Like, she was showing us, we'd practice a little bit, you know, so it wasn't like I had done a full Manzilian by myself yet. And I knew she wasn't going to be there that day. She was at her other location, so I was a little nervous, but I did notice that it was a model that I had before. So I was like, okay, you know, I've done a Manzilian on him before. Like, he's really nice. Like, I'll be okay. Little did I know that I was not going to be okay. So I walk him to the room and like I get him situated, ready. I come back in when he's like ready, and we start, and everything was going fine. But literally like 5 minutes into the appointment, he starts to freak out, and he just starts to say like, oh my gosh, like, I am so sorry, like, I don't know what's happening, like, I am so sorry. And he like kind of turns to the side, and honestly, like, my first thought was like, oh, like, is this too painful, like he can't go through with it? And then very quickly after that, I kind of see him like clutch his pearls, and like as he's turning to the side, and it clicked like what had happened. He had, for those that have not caught on yet, he had hit the home run while I was waxing him. I was genuinely like shocked. Like, again, this is my 3rd, maybe 4th Manzilian. I'm by myself. I don't know what to do. I was just like, let me get you some paper towels so you can clean yourself up. This man, as I'm like getting ready to leave, he goes, yeah, let me just clean myself up. Like, if you're okay with it, like, I can't, like, I'm good to keep going. And I didn't want to say no, like, what the heck? So I didn't say anything, and I just walked out. So I walk out, and I like let the girl, like the higher up girl that was there, like, know what was going on. And she's like, absolutely not. Like, you do not have to finish the service. That is so disrespectful. Like, you do not have to go through with it. And he never came out of his room. Like, it was a good 10-15 minutes, and homeboy never stepped out of that room. So the homegirl goes into his room, and she's like, when you're ready, like, we'll check you out in the front. And he comes out like 2 seconds later, and he's like, I am so sorry. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I've been a model so many times and this has never happened. And like, he was a model, so he didn't have to pay, but he takes out $20 and he's like, here's your tip. I was like, thanks. Like, it's the least you could do, right? No, but he was like, you could tell he felt genuinely bad. But he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I promise, like, it wasn't on purpose. And I was just like, oh, you're okay. Like, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. Does it though? And yeah, he left and I quit like a month later. Not because of that. I mean, it did have some to do with that. There were a lot of issues with Manzilians at that place. But yeah, I don't think I will ever offer Manzilians. No shade to anyone. Like, men deserve to take care of themselves just as much as women. It's just not going to come from me. There are plenty of estheticians out there though that do Manzilians, so you can find one for sure. And in some cases, like, it even works out. I knew of this esthetician who did a lot of Manzilians, and she even ended up marrying one of her clients. So in some cases it works out. I don't think I'll be offering them anymore, but I do love waxing. But thankfully I wasn't there long enough to know if that was normal or not. But I'm gonna kind of go out of a limb here and say that it wasn't. So y'all, I've been doing some waxing today and something happened to me that I wasn't actually prepared for. I had a new client and she was like, hey Selena. I was like, hey boo thing. She was like, so my boyfriend likes when I have a UTI or a yeast infection because he says my taste changes. Is that like normal? Does your boyfriend ever notice that? And I was like, pause, hold the phone, girl. You said what now? And she's like, yeah, I just, like, I want to satisfy him and I want to please him and I want him to think that that tastes good. So how can I keep that taste? First of all, I'll know what that taste tastes like, okay? So if a man or woman who likes that taste, like, please explain it to me. 2, did you find me on TikTok? Because I had one person on this app tell me that there was a girl whose boyfriend didn't have her take antibiotics when she had a yeast infection because he liked it. Now, y'all, that's gross. 1, health-wise, that's not good. 2, like, can we start liking different things? Like bondage, like different things. Don't be liking the way your girl tastes when she has an infection. Like, that's not good. That's not good. Like, and I don't kink shame, but impeding in one's health is not, that's not okay. You know what I mean? So, like, don't be doing that. I'm just at a loss for words. Like, and no, my boyfriend does not like that because he would be like, fix yourself, girl. And so, fix yourselves. I'm just, ugh.
The first one, I mean, my mom said I should have expected to get this, but for me, it was awkward. So the first one, I was waxing a Caucasian male. He was older, really older. And after I was waxing him, he asked me, did I do happy endings? So I just basically looked at him and I was like, no, sir, I don't. And I definitely don't want to touch you. And he basically was like, it doesn't kill to ask, with his old creepy self. So he was a pervert. Learned that. He never even came back after that. I guess he tries to find people who do. And for him to be comfortable to ask me that, I feel like there are a lot of people out there who probably do. But I am not the one for that. My second instance, I was waxing a man. Actually, our experience was pretty good until I got to the butt side. I don't know if he just had an incident prior to that. If he just came from the bathroom. I don't know what it was. But as soon as I went to, because you know you have to spread the cheeks to wax the man. bottom. Went to go do that. It was nothing but shit everywhere. And it wasn't like little piece here, little piece there. It was like yellow all over. Like he didn't even wipe his ass. And it was a lot of hair back there. So after that second instance, I was like, okay, this is the first time I got that. Let's try it one more time. But I was really grossed out just from waxing his behind and all the shit being back there. Finished that up. And I think he knew I was grossed out because being a waxer, you have to kind of, or a professional, you got to kind of play it off. You can't let him know it bothers you. But I gagged, like trying not to throw up. And I know he heard it. So, yeah, that was the second incident. And the third one, I got this young black male. He was pretty handsome. Anyway, was waxing him, and normal procedure when you're waxing them, the wax that you put on them is hot. So they go up and down. They, get aroused and then it goes down. They get aroused while you're putting on the wax. It goes up. When you snatched off, it goes down. Every male I have ever waxed has that issue, okay? So I'm waxing him.
Y'all, okay. Ignore how I look, okay? It was a long day. Just got out the shower. Either way. So let me tell y'all what the freak just happened. Well, the other day. So I offer waxing, intimate areas like full body waxing, whatever. So this man calls, makes an appointment, boom, shows up. I'm like, okay, cool. I've been taught this. I've never done a manzillion before. I've never waxed anybody, a man's area, okay? So, he comes in, he gets to it, drops his pants, drops his drawers, hops up on the table. I'm asking him questions, from the consent form. And he's just, telling me, that he's got fixed. So that's what got him into waxing himself. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and he was just like, y'all, he was like, yeah, it doesn't hurt as bad when it's stretched out. In my mind, as an esthetician, I'm thinking he means hold taut, like, skin stretched out, hold taut, so it doesn't hurt as bad in my mind. Until this man grabs the tip of his thing and shakes it, okay? And it clicks in my head that he's trying to, get it to stand up on me. And I was like literally in my mind like, please don't, please just don't stand up, please don't stand up, because what am I supposed to do, like how am I not supposed to make that awkward, so I'm ignoring him, doing what he's doing. I'm still waxing, I'm still doing my thing, I'm holding conversation and ignore them. Wow, ignore them. So I'm holding conversation and he's literally like like messing with himself so he can like get it to stretch out. Okay, so I was literally like just trying like to hurry up and do it, and it was just a weird experience for me, honestly. Maybe it's because it was my first time, but that wasn't even the part that was weird to me, honestly. It was the fact that, I don't know how to say it without my video not getting banned. The fact that stuff came out of it, like pre-stuff came out of it and was just like on his leg. And
story time on why I'm thinking about not doing men anymore. So I've never had a problem with gay men, straight men, waxing them, nothing. Even if circumstances happen during the wax, nothing weird, okay? So today, I get a text message saying, hey, I'm looking to do a Brazilian, blah, blah, blah. Don't know if it's a guy or girl. So he ends up coming out saying, like, do you do guys? And I was like, yeah, I do guys. He's like, awesome. I want to do it today. I've never done anything like this before. I'm excited. Okay. Boom. We're talking about when he's going to come today. I said like 12:30, 1 o'clock. He was like, you don't have nothing closer? No, sir. So here's when it starts getting weird. He asked me, if things can happen, if when I'm waxing men, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, things can happen when you're waxing a guy. It's normal. It's okay. This man says, oh, good. I'll give you a big tip if I do that. Excuse me? Oh, it gets better. Boom. I'm like kind of playing it cool. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, it happens. Okay, cool. I was just like, hello, okay, when do you want to come? So we ended up finding out when he's going to come or whatnot. Then he's like, can you send me a picture? A picture of what, sir? A picture of what? I had to proceed and ask him, how did you find me? On Google Maps. Okay, you found me on Google Maps. I had to tell him, you making me feel very uncomfortable. He was like, I'm so sorry. I've just never done this before. I'm just so excited about it. I told him, there's a European wax center right across the street that is close to you, just as close as I am to you. Have a great day. I don't think I'm going to do men anymore.
So there you guys have it. Some of the stories from wax technicians, the problems that they be going through. Like, that's just crazy, though. Like, people actually, like, go to these places knowing that they put the smell correct. And they just be on some old other. Like, these people already got to go to work. And I'm pretty sure they love their job, but come on now. You coming in there smelling foul. You got things going on with your body. Like, get your behind up off that table. Like, come on now. But this your boy, Talk Slick, Make It Quick TV. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. I'll at your boy.